Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in and welcome back to yet another episode of Proudly Motherland. Man, if this is your first time coming through and if this is your first time seeing this face, man, they call me Misterjaay, and I'm a proud motherland and living out in the diaspora. And I do drop vlogs every day talking about issues affecting my continent. Yes, it is my duty to do that because, as you all know, man, if you've been following me, man, I'm a proud son of the soil, man. I'm a motherland, and you dig. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say thank you for everybody that has been rocking with Misterjaay, watching every vlog I dropped. And if you've been leaving a comment or you give us a thumbs up, man, I love you from the bottom of my heart, man. It really means a lot. And today we are going to talk about yet another interesting topic. But before we do get started, please, if you've not done it, I would like you to just give us that thumbs up, because the more thumbs up you give us, the more YouTube understands what Misterjaay Proudly Motherland is trying to do. You feel me? And I know that this year, man, we're gonna hit that 50K mark. And thank you, man. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about, man, this vlog, man. There's something that I've been reading throughout the day and which just makes my stomach just churn with a whole lot of, I don't even know if it's hate or if it's just disdain for certain things that is going on in the world. But we are going to talk about it, man. I came up on this article today, man. And we all know that there's been a whole lot of things happening, especially in the Sahel region of Africa. Yes, there's been a whole lot of changes taking place, and positive changes for the people of the various countries. And wherever there's positive change happening in Africa, man, the West and its proxies, the West and its allies have always never ever liked it. They always try to come in and just create disunity and just destabilize systems. But we are glad that some great men stood up, and they have been standing up for a couple of months now, and they are going out. If you don't know what I'm talking about the three main countries from the Sahel region, man. The Republic of Mali, the Republic of Burkina Faso, and the Republic of Niger, man. The military juntas that came into power a couple of months ago, they took over and they decided that they are going to take a U-turn and change the history, change the path that the various countries were going through. And this has annoyed the West, and this has annoyed so-called colonial masters who have vehemently tried everything in their power to take out these guys to no avail, because yes, the youths of those countries, the youths of Africa, we are rising and we are standing up with those that are coming in to bring positive change. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this vlog right here, I want us to talk about something coming out from one of these countries in the Sahel region, man. Burkina Faso, man. Burkina Faso is a great country with a great culture and with a unique political history, man. We all know that it's in Burkina Faso that once great Pan-Africanist man by the name Thomas Sankara, who rose to prominence and tried to change that beautiful country's path. Now imagine if this man was still in his ideology, if this man was still alive, the vision that this man came with decades ago would have made that country a shining light in that region. But we are not going to cry over spilled milk. The West, through France, they did their biddings, and you know the outcome. So recently, man, there's a young leader who came into power, man, Capt. Ibrahim Traore, the 34-year-old Burkinabe, son of the soil, proud son of the soil. And this man has been doing a whole lot of things to change the history, man, the political history, to change the system, to change the direction and the destiny of this beautiful country, blessed with a whole lot of natural resources, but yet they could not boast. They could not say that we are a developed or we are a rich nation, but we all know that. Now let's not stray far from the topic of our vlog today, man. Our vlog for today is about the recent declaration, man, by Captain Ibrahim Traore's Prime Minister, man, Minister Joachim. Yes, Minister Joachim, man, he came out and made a declaration, and he was bearing the message from the strong man himself, Captain Ibrahim Traore. And this man said that there is not going to be any elections, man, because Ecowas, man, a Western proxy in Africa, man, they have been pressuring and asking some of these leaders who took over power to return power to civilian rules. Now, the question I will ask you watching is this, man. When we look at Africa, man, especially the French-speaking colonies, man, which country in Africa with a civilian rule can boast of living like rich population or having a good economy, and they are very, very developed? If you know that information, man, leave a comment there. Mr. J stands to be educated, because we are just being proudly Marvelandians, you feel me? So if you know any French-speaking colony in Africa that is well developed and the economy is doing great with a civilian regime in place, do let Mr. J know, you feel me? Now let's come back to this whole cancellation of the July election, which Ecowas have been pressuring through their Western sponsors, so that it should be held in Burkina Faso, man. Burkina Faso's prime minister came right out and said there will be no election in Burkina Faso under the timeline that Ecowas and the international committee gave us. Yes, there's not going to be an election. And this man, he gave a whole lot of reasons why. But let me just say this. In other words, what this man was saying is this, man. We are not going to allow the West and its proxies in Africa, ECOWAS, to tell us what to do with our country. We are here to fix our country. And the Burkina Faso people, man, the Burkinabés, they are standing one with us. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me digress a little bit. We all know that throughout history, man, the West have always claimed to be at the spearhead of democracy. And we all know the catastrophes that have occurred throughout the years, and the issue of always trying to take out any good leader around the world who stands up to the West or its proxies, man. Now, I don't know what kind of democracy the West is claiming to have. I don't know what kind of democracy the world is always claiming to champion. But history has shown us that when it comes to democracy, the West actually knows nothing about democracy. It's all about who knows who. You feel me? It's a vampiric system. The international community is a vampiric system whereby a clique of Western countries, they bond together and inflict serious havoc and mayhem on other countries. We have seen this over and over in the United Nations. We have seen that recently. We talk about the situation in the Gaza Strip. We have seen that a couple of Western countries, together with the United States, in the move of, oh, we are democratic, or we are champions of democracy, they fund one side to cause genocide. But let's not go too far. Let's come back, man. Why is the West so bent on insisting that there should be elections and the return to civilian rule in Africa? Why are they so bent? You might be wondering, but I think I know why. Some of these Western imperialists or colonial masters, they know that when this power is returned to civilian rules, they can corrupt. Now, before they even ask for the return to civilian rules, they already have their people in place waiting to receive this power so that they can jump right back in and start doing what they do best, controlling them like puppets. Now, when you come out of Africa as a leader or a regime and you stand strong and you say no more Western manipulation in our affairs, man, they start to panic. They become angry. Now, we all know that recently, man, in an interview, man, the military junta of the Republic of Mali, he said it outright that the French president called him and told him to hand over power to such and such person. And together with Ecowas delegation, they already coerced, they already cooked up this whole thing because they know exactly what they're trying to do. But you see, in this strong man in Burkina Faso, he came into power and he saw for himself exactly the nature of his country, and he got tired of it. So he was like, you know what? No more. We are going to fix this issue once and for all. Have you ever asked yourself, all of these ECOWAS members, all of these ECOWAS countries who keep saying that, oh, return to civilian rule, have they ever gone to the root of the issues plaguing some of these countries in the Sahel region? Have they ever gone and actually understood the reason? Because if they did, some of them will be actually joining these leaders to fight against what they call systemic disorganization, and some of these systemic things are being sponsored by the West and some of its allies. We are not going to dwell on that. Let's not digress. So through his prime minister, Minister Apollinaire Joachim, Minister Apollinaire Joachim told the international community, any Western proxy and the West who think that conducting elections in Burkina Faso is going to be beneficial to the people of Burkina Faso, newsflash, the Burkina Faso people, they are standing together with the military regime of Captain Ibrahim Traore, because Captain Ibrahim Traore has been showing to them exactly what the nitty-gritty, what the business is. And let me say this, man, the priority of this new leader, Captain Ibrahim Traore, his priority is actually ensuring that there is full security. The insecurity in some parts of his countries, man, we all know that the Sahel region of Africa has been plagued with a whole lot of terrorist groups, man, rebel groups, man, who have, from time to time they attack and they disorganize things. And this man said, you know what, this is a part of my country. Before there's going to be any form of election, before there's going to be any form of civilian rule in this country, we need to ensure that security is our priority. Second on the list, before there is going to be any general election, that election which ECOWAS and its Western allies are trying to push for, before we do that, there must be security. Burkina Faso must be secured, and then there must be some level of development. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the Prime Minister also said the best way for any foreign entity, the best way for any Western country or allies or proxies who are very, very eager to help Burkina Faso is to cooperate with the regime of Captain Ibrahim Traore and his visions. Because if you can do that, then we are going to freely organize elections, because by doing so, you are ensuring that security in Burkina Faso is top priority, and then development is top priority. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we cannot be in a country, we cannot be talking about a country, Burkina Faso, where Burkina Faso has a whole lot of natural resources, man. And did you know that Burkina Faso is the fourth largest producer of gold in Africa? Did you know that? Gold is a very, very expensive commodity, a mineral that is very expensive. Just any country with gold, just from gold, a country can change its economy. But look at what Burkina Faso has been through throughout the past 50 years. I'm talking about post-independence. Look at the mess under civilian rules, which the West, especially France, they are calling for. So this new leader was like, nope, I'm not going to fall for that. If holding election is going to help solve the issue of insecurities and underdevelopment in Burkina Faso, I'm going to do that. But if You want us to hold these elections in July 2024 just to say that Burkina Faso is no longer under military rule. You are fooling yourself. We are going to put our country in order before we think about elections. So let no other country come in and try to tell us what to do. Let no other foreign entity come in and try to dictate to us what to do, because as it stands, the Burkina Faso people and the military, they have understood and they are tired of the circle of poverty and underdevelopment that has plagued them. A whole lot of youths of Burkina Faso have left that country and they have drowned in the Mediterranean just to make it to Europe, to look for greener pastures, whereas their country is the fourth largest producer of gold. Gold could give them a whole lot of jobs. Gold could make them wealthy. Gold could give them good medical centers. Selling gold and profits and money from gold selling exportation could build roads and ensure that these kids, these youths that are dying in the Mediterranean, do not die. But you want us to just forget all of this? You want us to sugarcoat things and not focus on what the problem is? The problem in Burkina Faso is insecurity, attacks, frequent and rampant attacks from some of these rebel groups and terrorist groups, which it's been proven that some of these Western allies actually do sponsor and offer weapons too, to attack, and then they will come in as humanitarian purposes while they are robbing and stealing the natural resources of this country. This is crazy, ladies and gentlemen. Now, with Captain Ibrahim Traore saying this through his Prime Minister, Minister Apollinaire Joachim, ladies and gentlemen, this is already telling the West that enough is enough. We are going to fix our country and its economy before we think about any form of election. There cannot be any election where part of a country is insecure. People are running away from part of a country because terrorist group and rebels group, man, they are controlling those parts. We are going to liberate it, and then we are going to organize elections. Heck, J.J. Rawlings did the same thing for Ghana decades ago. He took over power and he transformed Ghana. Ghana was a model. It's not what is happening today to Ghana that nobody can understand. But Colonel J.J. Rawlings put Ghana straight. This man brought in development. This man did a whole lot of things. May his soul rest in peace. So I will throw this out to you before I end this vlog. Do you think that the West, through its proxy Ecowas, calling for election, given a timeline for an election to the military juntas of some of these countries in the Sahel region of Africa, do you think that is correct? And do you also think that democracy, as they say, is it a phenomenon that is helping Africa? Because we do have some civilian regimes around Africa, and these countries are still suffering from corruption, underdevelopment, and insecurities. Leave your comment. I will end this vlog by saying, man, I hope you do watch the other vlogs, man, and